All right. I hope. Let's check the audio levels. I think we're good. Are we not? I think we're good. Let me fiddle around with the knobs on my audio interface, which I think I'm going to replace very soon. I'm getting white noise in the feedback. I don't like this, but you know what? I'm gonna have to deal with it. I hope you can hear me though. The mic seems to be working, so I don't know. Please let me know in the chat if it's not working or if you can't hear me. All right. So, the topic of today is going to be to build Waffle, and Waffle is going to be a Twitch IRC client, so I can display the chat in the command line, and I don't have to, break my neck going back and forth reading chat on OBS. So I already have a bot. Actually, let me start that bot. What's it called? CD dev Fisher bot, PDM run bot. All right. So what's the task for today? Well, the task for today, let me copy and paste. Boom. Copy. We paste this. I'm gonna get rid of that. All right. So presumably now, we should have the bang operator working, right? The channels was unable to be joined. Check the channel is valid. Huh. Let me see. But before I do anything, let me have a look at the commands. So watch time, rules, GitLab, task. Yeah, it's task. So if I do bang task, I should have something back. Huh. Doesn't seem to work for whatever reason. All right, let me. Ooh. Hang on, why is it not working? Twitch.io, token, user IDs, config.get, user ID. Let me have a look. I config, make config. Fisher bot user IDs. Oh, initial channels. Let's do that. Yes, I've because I changed my name on Twitch. So let's run that again. Copy it. Copy the task. All right. So now we shouldn't have any problems, right? Because I'm not getting an error. So let's run task again. Yep. So now it works. Good. I feel like the sound of the music is too loud. Right? All right. So now we can crack on with this. All right. So I've got my hot chocolate. That's not so hot anymore. So for this project, I'm going to use PDM. That way, because PDM seems to. Oh, Kata, how you doing? Hope you're doing great. If you're not a bot, say hi in the chat. I think it's PDM Python, right? PDM project, yeah, that's the one. It's sort of a replacement for pip, except it sort of works like npm, right? So you can add scripts like so. You have a config file. Actually, let me show you. If I open the pdm.py project, is it py project? Yep. So I can add scripts category or section, and then I can just give it names. And that's in this. If you notice, I was able to run the bot by doing pdm run bot, and so this is similar to npm and a package.json, right? So it works in a similar way. So we're going to use this, and it makes it easier to manage dependencies and stuff like that, as opposed to pip. And I think it creates an environment variable for you as well. Let's go back home. So we've already got it installed. All right, so we can do this, blah, blah, blue, shell completion. Do we need that? Fish? Actually, let's do it. Let's do this. It's always nice to have. All right. What? PDM self-update. Let's run this too. Okay. Manage project. How did I do it? CLI reference. Let's look at. Let's go to GitHub and see if they have something. PDM GitHub. Okay, because Poetry. I used to use Poetry, but apparently it's not good practice anymore. It's it sort of lost its mojo. Okay, quick start, initialize a new PDM project. So we're gonna do this. All right, PDM init. But before we do anything, we need to create a directory. So I'm gonna do dev waffle. And then we're going to create GitLab repo. So actually, let's do this, and we'll do Twitch IRC client written in Python. So it's going to be a public directory. I'm going to call it waffle, not world, and again waffle, like that. So glab repo create waffle, boom. Run git init, yes. Create a local directory, nope. All right. So what do we have? Oh, we actually have a directory, which we'll never know. Maybe we'll use it. And so we'll do PDM init. Okay, so which interpreter do we want to use? I actually want to use 3.10. Nope, what am I doing? Chose the wrong one. PDM init again. It's 1, not 2. Would you like to create? Yes, we want to. Is the project a library that is installable? I think it is, yeah, because we're going to deploy that to PyPI, so that you'll be able to use it for your own streams if you want to. Project name is Waffle. Project version is 101. Yeah. Project description is a Twitch. Twitch IRC client for the CLI, the command line. Which build backend to use? Huh. What is this? BDM build backend. What is this? Project quick start. Python backend. I guess we'll go with the default one. It's interesting that they have so many different backends, but we'll do 4. I hope it doesn't come back to bite us. The license is going to be WTF-PL. Author name is Fisher, Ayo Fisher. Author email is going to be this. Python requires G to allow any. Yes, I guess. Okay, good. So we have a py project.toml, and then we have waffle, and then we have a virtual environment, which we will. What's the question following the guide? Solve dependencies, badges. Okay, well, I guess we can now source vn bin activate, right? So we're good now. What else can we do? I don't think we need to do much now. All we have to do is go to the Twitch documentation, but first we need to figure out what exactly we wanted to do, right? Because at the minute, essentially what I want is sort of a stream chat window, right? And I wanted to pull, I guess I wanted to connect to IRC because I've done a bit of research, and apparently Twitch chat just uses IRC. So essentially, we're going to have to, let's actually write a to-do. To-do.md, what to-do, right? So what we want to do is we want to connect, right, to IRC. We want to authenticate, right, to IRC as ourselves. What else do we want to do? Well, we want to be able to join a channel because it's IRC, so you have to join a channel. Okay, then we need to be able to pull the messages, and we need to pass the messages too, right? We need to pass the messages. That way we can essentially have the username, and then the message, and then we want to be able to, for example, maybe if you're replying to someone with @username, we want to be able to highlight that. I want the username to be displayed differently, so I want the username to be colored. I want it to be bold, just to differentiate between the authors and the actual messages. What else do we need to do? We need to support emojis too, because in my chat at the minute, I can see that is that an emoji? Yes, it is an emoji. So we have emojis, so we need to again support emojis, and I guess what's it called on Twitch, emotes, right? We need this. We need to be able to highlight links too. What else? What else do we need? And we'll probably need an input box to write to chat, right? So this is what we're going to need to do. Connect to IRC, blah blah blah. So for now we're going to try and connect. We're going to try and authenticate, join a channel, and then we'll probably try and add a message, right? Just to test that it works, and then we'll sort of refactor the code to make it more modular. Can I create a package? Yes, I can. My Python is a bit rusty because I've been doing Go for a bit now. I haven't touched Python in a long. Oh, hello. Let me get on here. Also, let me go to git ignore the IO for Python. Is it PDM? Nope, not Python, just Python. We'll do create. We'll copy this. Alright, copy this. Git ignore. I'll paste everything. Okay. And then we'll do initial commit. We need to do git remote add origin, and we called it waffle. Waffle.git, and we'll push the master if it lets us. Yes, it does. Cool. All right. Okay. Hang on, what? Yeah, so we'll do touch waffle init.py, right? And then we'll do, I guess we'll do client.py too. So this is where we're going to build. This is where we're going to build our client. All right. So now we need to be able to connect to IRC. So let's go Twitch chat client. Chat basics. Yeah, so that's what we want, right? That's exactly what I want it to look like at the end of the day. So we want to have the time, whatever this is, right? All these emotes, I think they are. And then I want the username in bold and in color with a colon, and then the actual message, and maybe a box like this. Right, so these are the chats, probably blue. That's not what we want. We want documentation. Let's go to Twitch, developers, docs, yeah. Let's see. Chat and chatbots. All right, so Twitch provides an internet relay chat interface that lets chatbot connect to Twitch chat rooms using a WebSocket or TCP connection. Once connected, bots can send and receive chat messages. For example, bots can provide simple reminders like get up and move or hydrate, so they can perform Twitch actions like banning a user, or they can react to user input. For a simple example to get you started, see getting started. Okay, Twitch's IRC service is based on an IRC v3 message tag specification. If you're not already familiar with them, reading them may help you understand the Twitch IRC server. I hope you're not hearing what's happening in the background. I think people are having a party outside of my window. After connecting to the server, the first messages that all bots must send are pass and nick messages. These messages are used to authenticate the user account that the bot is running under. Once the server successfully authenticates your bot, the next step is to send a join message, join the chat room that the bot runs in. Alright, so we need to first connect, right? Second is authenticate, and then 3 is to join. And authentication is done by passing pass and nick messages. So pass and nick messages, like so. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? The messages your bot sends and receives depends on what your bot does and the Twitch specific IRC capabilities it requests. If your bot simply sends out get up and move reminders, your bot can mostly ignore all of the messages from the server. To send a reminder, your bot sends a priv message. If your bot responds to messages the user posts in a chat room, your bot will need to read and pass the priv messages that the server sends. The server sends a priv message for each message user okay, so we need to make note of this, right? We need to capture priv messages, right? If your bot responds to messages that users post in the chat room, your bot will need to read it. Without requesting Twitch specific IRC capabilities, your bot is limited to sending and receiving priv messages, which is fine, I guess. Requesting the membership capability allows your bot to receive join and part messages when users join and leave the chat room, or if your bot requests command capabilities, when you use Twitch commands, the server may send your bot notice messages or Twitch specific messages like clear chat to let you know whether the command succeeded. Okay, to leave a chat room, your bot sends a part message. Okay, so this is the list of messages we have that we can sort of pass, right? So join and nick we send, notice we receive, part we can do both, pass we send, ping we receive, prong we send, and then priv message we can do both. Okay, if your bot sends a message that Twitch IRC the server replies with the standard 421 numeric message. For example, if you send who, the server replies with who unknown command. Okay, so these are Twitch specific messages: reconnect, user notice, whisper. Okay, we may have to implement those at some point. Host target, Okay, so connecting to the Twitch IRC server. Actually, let's go to getting started. So this is a node. Okay. So it's using okay. Yeah, but that's using a client. We're not interested in that. Oh, what? Replace bot username with your Twitch account's login username, all lowercase. Chatbot messages will be sent from this account. Okay. Replace OAuth token with the password you want the bot to connect with. The strings format is OAuth colon token, where token is a user access token. Before you can get a user access token, you must register this bot. For details on how to register a bot, capture your client ID and secret for the next step. Okay, so we need to register your an app. After registering the bot, use one of the following options to get an access token. If you have the Twitch CLI installed, use the CLI token command to get a user access token for the bot username Twitch account. Specify the chat read and chat edit scopes. If you're not familiar with Twitch's command line interface, give it a try. Do we actually need to do all that? Because I didn't really need to do this for my bot, right? This is a bit weird. Because I already have like an OAuth token. Well, we'll try and do it without. So let's go back here. Right, so connecting. SSL for the IRC client, we can do this. All right, chat.twitch.tv:6697. If your connection is dropped, you should try reconnecting using an exponential backoff approach. For example, try reconnecting immediately. If you have no luck, try again in 1 second, 2 seconds, 4 seconds, and so on for the number of attempts you want to make. But be aware, if you're making multiple connections, there are rate limits that apply. Okay. The Twitch IRC client, the Twitch IRC server sends ping messages to ensure that your bot is still alive and able to respond to the server's messages. After receiving a ping message, your bot must receive a pong message. The text of the pong message must be the text from the ping message. Alright, okay, so what we need to do, we connect, we authenticate, we join, right? And then hang on. So we pass the message. Okay. So essentially we want to connect. So we'll connect. Right? And then they say that after we authenticate, we receive a ping message, and then we need to send it back. So we need to send a pong message with the content of the ping message, right? Okay, so now we need to figure out how to connect to IRC, and I believe, oops, I believe that it's done through sockets. But we'll do Python IRC example. Let's see. Google. Ooh, it's using global. Ooh, I don't like that. So socket. Yeah, so okay. Ooh, this is weird. When was this written? 2018? No, I don't like that. Ugh. Let's see. Yeah, so we have the server, the channel. So right, so we'll do def main. Actually, let me do if main, right? And then we'll do def main like so. First we'll just print hello world. I'm going to create a script in it's a pipe project. Yeah, pipe project.toml. All right, and Tutankhamun, how you doing? Let's cat pipe project.toml. We're gonna copy this. Oops. We'll paste that. Right. Okay, so tool.pdm.scripts, great. And this is going to be called, actually, yeah, it's going to be called bot. And this is going to call waffle dot main. Let's call main. Do I have a main dot py on here? I do have a main.py, so that's not going to be, it's going to be client.main, right? And so now, presumably, I can do pdm run bot, and I get hello world. Great. So that works. So now we can go back here and essentially connect. So we'll do IRC equals in fact, we need to import socket, yeah. And so IRC is going to be client dot, nope, it's going to be socket dot socket. Is it? Yep. So what was it? Socket dot AF inet. Whoops. What am I doing? Socket.if. IF what? Oh, AF. AF net. AF net. AF inet. Is it? Yep. So internet socket, I suppose. And then socket. What's going on? Socket dot sock stream. Boom. Right. All right. Cool. And then we need to. So where's the server? Okay, connect to da-da-da. So then we can do irc.connect. So we should be able to do IRC. Oops. Wow. irc.connect. I'm sorry, it's extremely uncomfortable because my mic is far away from my mouth. So I'm gonna have to get me taller stand for my mic. So we'll have server, and then we'll have 6667. Now the server, I believe, is if we go back up, What is it? That's the one. I think that's that, right? Or is it this? No, it has to be that. Let's try with this first. So the server is going to be this, and I guess the port is going to be 6697. Right, that's going to be the port. Expected one position argument. Well, that's the one. So what are you on about? Oh, is that a tuple? Yep. Okay. Oh, none. Okay, so this is SSL and this is non-SSL. Let's see. What was it using? I think it was using the 6667. Yeah. I'll try that. So we connect, and then what happens when we connect? If the connection, but there's no flow. After connecting to the server, the first message is that all bot. Okay, great. The all bot must send or pass and nick messages. These messages are used to authenticate the user account that the bot is running under. Alright, so what's the nick message then? Sending the pass and nick messages. Send the pass messages text string to the access token. The string's format is OAuth token, where token is the access token. Okay. Send the nick message, just text string to your bot's nickname. The nickname should be the lowercase login name of the Twitch account used to get your access token. Okay, so our nick message is going to be, well, my username, right? And don't worry, we'll clean this up. But nick is going to be Ayo Fisher, and then the pass is going to be OAuth. OAuth, and we'll do token. Oh, not pass. I'll do underscore pass, and the token is going to be os.get. We need to import os. It's os.get env, right? We'll do token. So I'm gonna need to get. Let me just try with my actual token that I've got, and then I'm gonna copy and paste my env file. Hey 01 Ella, if you're not a bot, say hi in the chat. We'll cp.env into waffle.env like that, and then we'll do over here, we'll do pdm add.env. All right. Okay. Now let me do, what did I call it? Hang on, what did I, oops. Main config.get access token, isn't it? So where's the config? Let's make config. Okay, so it's os.env get env access token. What do we do with .env here? Okay, so we load .env, .env. Alright, then we'll do that. We'll load. Nope, before we do this, we need to actually import from .env, import load env, and I think, oh, okay, it's not accessed, so we can do load env. Nope, it's load underscore env, like that. And so we need to, unfortunately, reopen the file, back to client, and now it's load env is unknown. What? Oh, load.env. Ugh. Load.env. .env. What now? Oh my god. It's exactly the same. Is unknown import symbol. What are you on about now? .env Python. Oh, it's actually python.env, not. Yeah. So it's pdm add python.env. Okay. Which means I need to get rid of my dependency. So is it py project.toml? Oh, wrong one. Yep, that's the one. Is there a way to delete? Actually, is it pdm sync? Let's see if I can delete. Add. Yeah. Let me actually do this. I'm gonna do pdm remove .env. Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's gone. Great. Okay, so we can go back and open the client. All right, so look, what now? Oh boy. All right, let me just try and see. Cannot import name load.env from .env. What are you on about? Can't believe my eyes. I mean, this is exactly. Okay, all right, let's see. All right. Can we do dot? Wow. Just wow. Okay. So we'll do .env dot. What's going on here? what is going on here. And let me just print darling, because this is weird. What? So it doesn't have? No. We have the dependency here, so it should be working. Did it not take that into account? Let's see. Nope. This is the weirdest thing. This is the stupidest thing ever. Well, yeah, but that's what we did. Alright, we'll do this. We're actually gonna... Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get rid of everything. So what do we have here? We should have lib, right? Side packages. Okay. So let's see if we can okay, so now oops. Import.env could not be resolved. Oh my god. Alright, so do you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to lib lib python 310 site packages, and we are going to remove, in fact, let me deactivate. Oh my god. Alright. Venv. We're gonna get rid of this whole thing, and we're gonna do pdm venv create. Specify which Python should be used. So PDF, create. Well, let's do Python 3.10. Oh my god. How many? That's 3.8, so that's not what we want. So I don't have 3.10. Are you? No, I have 3.10. There we go. User bin Python 3.10. Is it dash dash Python? Let's do this. Okay, cool. So we've got the venv now, so we can source venv blah blah blah. Now we can do pdm add python.env. Okay, great. So now we should be able to, hopefully, yes, there we go. Okay, and so of course it's access token. All right, so now we need to send. So we connect to IRC. So we need to authenticate first, right? So now we connect. So connect. Two is going to be authenticate. And so this is going to be done by sending the nick messages, right? So we set the pass message, and then we need to send the nick message. Okay, so we can get rid of this. Let's come back here. IRC nick. Is it a pass command somewhere? Nope. To connect to server, next register and add something. A user session with short username and a human readable real name. Send a nick command. So we'll do IRC. So it's irc.socket.send, I suppose. Right. So we can do IRC. In fact, let's do this. Oh, God. Let me copy this. Paste. All right. So we'll just do an F string like that, and this is gonna be our nickname. Do we need a new line? Maybe. In function sent what? No, it's actually it's exactly what it's doing. Argument of type literal string cannot be assigned to parameter of type readable buffer. Hang on. Oh, it's bytes. So how do I do this? But that's no longer an S string, so we need to convert that to bytes. Encode. Yeah, let's do that. str dot encode. Right, so now it's not yelling, which is good. But before we do that, we need to send the pass. And that's going to be pass. Expected expression, like that. Okay. But we're going to need to receive something, right? Where are we? Is there a receive somewhere? Yeah, IRC receive. So we're receiving bytes. Oops. And then we'll print text. And I want to see if it works. So we'll do pdm run bot. Oh, hello. Interesting. Okay, so we've got something, right? Alright, so we've got, I think it's byte array, right? So if we print the type, oh god. If we print the type, it's bytes. Okay, so TMI twitch.tv 001 welcome GLHF So I think it's decode, right? Because we did encode, so I suppose we can decode the message. Let me get rid of this. Let's see, can we decode? Yep. I think it's UTF-8, if I am not mistaken. And so again, we can, oops, PDM run bot. All right, good. So we've got this, right? Welcome, your host is tmi.twitch.tv. The server is rather new. You are in a maze of twisty passages, all alike, which means we are authenticated. Okay. So we've done 1 and 2, but we have not received a pong message, which is weird. Or have we? Because we haven't received a pong message. Do we need to send one first? Chat and chatbots. What's your next step? Oh, the next step is to send a join message to join the chat room that the bot runs in. So let's go to join. Joining a chat room. Chat room. Oh, we have some. Okay, this is good. Okay, so join channel. So I suppose we can just do that. So join is going to be oh, actually we can just do this. Oops, we can join Ayo Fisher and then see what we get back. Nothing. The reason is because we need to receive again. Now this is going to be best done in a loop, of course, and we need to again print the text like that. Okay, so we didn't get any error. So let's go back to where we were. Okay, so you connect to the server. The first message that all bots must send are the pass and nick messages. These messages are used to authenticate a user account. Okay, once the server successfully authenticates your bot, the next step is to send a join message to join the chat room that the bot runs in. Okay, the messages your bot sends and receives depends on what your bot does. If your bot simply sends out get up and move reminders at specific intervals, your bot can mostly ignore all of the messages from the server. To send the reminder, your bot sends a priv message to ensure that your bot is still alive and able to respond to the server messages. But we don't. Okay. So ping. The Twitch RC server sends ping messages to ensure that your bot is still alive and able to respond to the server's messages. After receiving a ping message, your bot must reply with a pong message. The text of the pong message must be the text from the ping message. Okay, but the problem is we haven't received anything. So let's do a while true. So we've authenticated. Now we've joined. Right. 3 join, which is good. Okay, and now we can do while 1 like this. Let's see if we get somewhere. Do we receive a join, a ping? Doesn't look like we are. It doesn't look like we are. Oops. Send a chat message to the channel's chat room, use a priv message. Note if you send too many messages in rapid succession, the Twitch RC. Okay. Receiving chat messages. When a user enters a message in this channel's chat room, the Twitch RC server sends your bot a priv message. Alright. Did we actually receive something? No, we haven't. Okay. That is not what I had in mind. Oh, let's try to do this. So we'll run this, right? And I'm gonna add a message to the chat room and see. This is a test message. Okay. So we actually do receive the messages, which is interesting. But we're not receiving the ping pong message. Is there a way to force them to send us the message? Because I don't want the connection to terminate just because we're not covering that case. Let me add a to-do here. To-do handle ping message. Right. So what we need to do now is we need to pass the messages what we receive, right? So let's create a function. Pass message. Okay. So it's going to take it's going to take a raw message. I think it's bytes, right? Is it byte array? I think it's bytes. And it's going to return a string for now. So it's going to return a string, and then we'll essentially just do this, right? For now, we'll do .decode UTF-8. So raw message.decode UTF-8, like that, and we'll do MSG equals pass message text, like that, and I guess we'll print the message. Okay, are we running? Yes, we are. So now we need to kill. Why is it not working? Can we? Why is it not working? Oh my god. Can you just... Okay. Whoa. Okay, so I already had the job running. Cool. Let's see now. DDM run bot. Connection reset by the peer. I think we have something running in the background. No, we're not even. It's a bit weird. Oh my god. Alright, do you know what? Let's do this. Why is it not working? Okay, blah blah blah, join. So now if I add a message to the chat like hello, okay, I get the message. Great. So the function works. That much we know. So now we need to essentially pass the message, and for that I think we're going to create a message class, message.py, and I think we can do class message, right? Or is it a data class? Can we do data class? No, I don't think I have. No, the class. All right, well, we'll do message. We'll call it message, or chat message. How do we create a data class again? Right, from data class, I'll import data class like that, and I can do this. Okay, great. Oh my god. Alright, so the message is going to have an author of type string, body of type string. What else do we actually get from the... Oh, message type too. Type is going to be string. What else? I think I saw something about passing messages. Note that your bot will not receive priv messages for chat messages that it writes to the chat room. Instead, it receives a user state message, but only if you request the tags and command capabilities. The display name tag receives a user state message, but only if you require. Okay. Where were we? I think it was overview. Keep alive messages. The Twitch IRC server sends ping messages to ensure that your bot after receiving a message. Okay, so we'll need to handle this. But first, we'll pass the message. Okay. When a Twitch IRC server sends a message, it may contain a single message or multiple messages. The following example shows what the message looks like if it contains a single message. And here's what the message looks like if it contains multiple messages. In this case, the message contains the join 353 366 user state, room state, and part messages. The messages are delimited by CRLF, carriage return, and I guess new line. The Twitch IRC set does not guarantee the order of the messages. It may also send the message multiple times if it doesn't think the bot received it. Okay, see the example message pass. Whoa. Ooh, hello. So how do we passes an RC message and returns? If the message includes tags, get the tags component of the RC message. Start index increments as we pass the REC message. I think they're delimited. Oh, we received a ping message. Brilliant stuff. Oh, hello. Well, that's interesting because the ping message doesn't include any of this stuff, right? So we need to find a way to extract all of this and turn that into a message class. Okay. Before we do this, when we pass the message, let's print. So this is going to be the str message, right? And I think we can do str message dot split like this, and that's going to return a list for now. We'll change it later, but for now, oh, okay. So if I send hello, so that's a priv message, and the ping message is going to be the first one in the list. It's going to be the first item in the list. And the last item in the list is going to be the actual content of the message. But that I don't know what is. Okay, so this is the channel. So this is the channel, and this is, I guess, the author of the message. I don't have a second Twitch account to unfortunately test this with. Let's see. Start index starts with 0, the raw component of the message. Oh, okay. Hang on. So the message includes tags. Okay. Get the source components. Get the source component, nick and host of the RC message. The IDX should point to the source part, otherwise it's a ping command. Oh, hello. Alright. Get the component of the RC message. I mean, that's a lot of tags to ignore. What are tags anyway? User state reconnect. So what is this? So we know that this is that's the channel, so we don't need this. But then we need to figure out what the tags are. So nick host, but the host is always going to be us. What is it? Yeah, so the host is always going to be us, and so this is the so that's the username. That's our username, and that's going to be our hang on, what? and that's the host. But I wonder if this changes. Guess a command, priv message. That's the channel and that's the bot command. And the parameters is this. But hang on, we're not getting anything. We're not getting tags, are we? I don't think we are. So that's a problem. I'm out of chocolate. Let's look at the tags. Most RC messages provide enough information that you can figure out what happened. For example, in the following priv message, you know that the user ABC posted, "Hey guys," in XYZ channel. Okay. Oh. So we actually have to specify the tags. Okay, so we. Oh. All right. So the first item is going to be the tags, right? So we're going to have to take this. Tags is going to be string 2, I suppose. So how do we requesting Twitch tags? Twitch capabilities. Expose your bot to request specific command messages like global user state, room state, user state. Send the following commands. Capability. As you can see, the messages aren't very useful. That's your bot send priv message that include Twitch chat command and Twitch specific RC messages. Lets your bot receive join apartment when user join, and adds additional metadata to the command and membership messages. For the list of metadata available with each message, see Twitch tags. To request a tag capability, you must also request the command capability. Okay. Huh. So let's do that. Let's actually take this. We'll copy this. And then we'll send another message. Oops. So we'll do rsc.send str encode this. Right. hopefully now, if I send a message, we should get the tags in it. Hello again with tags. Yeah, we don't. This is weird. Why am I not getting the messages? If your capabilities request succeed, Twitch replies with a standard accept command message. But I've not received any message, so this is a bit weird, isn't it? Requesting Twitch capabilities, which we've done. Okay, the pass snake reply. No, hang on. You must send pass before Nick. Okay, we've done that. Open browser, not to the following. Replace client ID with client ID. Okay. Twitch credential if asked, and then authorize the scopes. The scopes that you specify when requested depends on your bot's functionality. If the bot just reads chat messages, it only needs chat read. But if it also sends messages, it'll need the chat edit scope too. For a list of scopes that you can specify. Oh my god, do we need to actually recreate? Send, view, whisper, send, whisper. No, okay, no, we don't need that. Okay, these are Twitch chat commands, but we're not going to worry about that for now. Okay, so we passed it. Oh, we need to pass the cap before the. Okay. So that happens before. My bad. Improperly formatted off. What are we on about? Okay. Improperly formatted off. Oh boy. Oh. New line. All right. Boom. Now we've got this, right? Now presumably hey yo chat, what's up? All right, so the first part is the tags, right? Because we requested the tags. The second part is the message, is the whatever author and whatever, and then the next is going to be the actual message. And now, before I do anything, let me just print the length of the, instead of printing the message, we'll just print the length of the message just to see if it's consistent. Well, what? Is it 23? Hang on. Okay. It's in the actual text. Oh, sorry. Let's not the text, the message. Okay, so this is one big message, right? And so if we do that again, blah blah blah. All right. Okay. Okay. So what do we need to do? We need to pass the tags first. How did they do it? Let's see. Tags, source, command, and params. So what are parameters? I don't know. Okay, so the tags, what's the source? Oh, the source is the actual author. Okay. All right. And the command is going to be priv, and the channel is going to be out, and the parameters is going to be Dan's game. Okay, so parameters is the actual body, right? Yeah. Okay. So parameters is the body, command is the command, right? So whether it's priv message or ping, whatever, because if we look at this, yeah, it's ping. The source is the author, and the tags. So this essentially matches what we have, right? So you got the tags and the type. So this is the type, essentially command. That's going to be, well, the tags. Author is the source, as in Nick, and the body is parameters. So we need to pass the message. So we need to pass the entire message. So the index is going to be 0. If message IDX so what does he do? He extracts this. Let's have a look. So we're not going to do this. We're just simply going to return the string message. And that returns a string. Oops. What are we doing? So a message inevitably, no, a message inevitably starts with an at, right? Oh, it's limited by spaces. Interesting. Oh, okay, so it's limited by spaces, which means we can't, okay. So if we print dot split on a space, oh no. Let me again add another message. So we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. So we know that if the length of the list is 3, then it's a private message. But I like this idea. All right. So we'll start with an index, right? We'll essentially just put this to Python. So we'll do this, right? So we'll start with an index and a string message. So if str message idx is equal to an @ and that means this is, we have tags, right? Okay. All right. Oh no, we don't have triple equals. So we have tags, and so we need to pass tags, right? Okay. But then we need to find the next tag. So that's the raw tags component. So, okay. So we need to find index of character in string Python. There are two string methods for this. Find an index. The difference between the two is what happens when the search string isn't found. Find returns -1, and index raises a value error. We'll use index so we can do try catch. I like this. Okay. So we'll pass the tag, so there's going to be a to do. And then we'll do find the index of this, of empty string. We'll find the index of empty string, and then we'll set the index to that. Oh, first we'll extract the actual tags. Extract actual tags. Can we actually can I actually do this? Can I do from waffle dot message import message import chat message, right? Can I do msg chat msg equals chat message, like that? And then can I do chat message dot, no, let me, do I not have an init.py in this? I do have an init.py, so what the hell? Okay. Right, chat message dot tags. Can I do chat message dot, let's see, author? Yep, okay, cool. So I can set, so I can actually set the parameters, so that's good. I don't know if this is a good pattern. Okay, so we'll do end tags index idx, and that's going to be str message dot index of this, right? Then the tags content is going to be str message from 0, I guess from idx, to end tags idx, and we'll print the tags content. What? What? Oh, actually, do you know what? We'll do find. Argument of type tuple. Can what? Python substring. How do we do this? Well, yeah, start 0, 5. So what the hell? Okay, can I do, if I do 0 like this, does that work? Nope. Should it be int like that? Should we turn it into an int? Alright, we'll do this. Because this essentially means start from 0, right? So we got the ping message, good. Connection reset by pair. I don't like this. Okay. So we'll add a message. We'll do hello world. Okay, found tags. Well, that's not very helpful. Actually, it is helpful. So this is the whole tags, right? And this works because if we, yeah, so it matches what we have. Okay, good. And so the next part is going to be the actual command, and then it's going to be the body of the message. So now we can set, we should probably pass the tags at this point, right? So we've extracted the tags, and then we'll do set the IDX to that. So we've done this. Now we need to update the index. So IDX is going to be string message. It's going to be end tags IDX +1. No, is it not? Let's see. How do they do it? Yeah, so end index +1. Like that. Okay. What then? So now we can extract the source. So if we go back to the message, we've got this. So that's this, and again we can do the same thing, right? Because we can extract the source, and then hang on, what? Oh, okay, so if the message starts with blue with a colon, what do we do? Get the command, okay. Get the parameters, and that's going to be the actual message. Pass the command component of the pass message.command is going to be pass command, and then pass the tags, okay. And then pass the command component of the IRC message. That's going to be a massive switch case. Unfortunately, Python doesn't have switch, so we're going to have to do a lot of if else's. And pass the source. I don't think we need to do this, because we essentially just need to extract the author, not necessarily the host, right? And then the params, passing the ID IC parameters. If it contains a command, e.g. dice. Oh, also I need to charge my my keyboard. Right, so I'm going to take a break, and I'll be back in 10-15 minutes, and we'll try and do the we'll try and extract the nickname, and then the command, and then the body, right? And from the tags, let's see what we can actually get from the tags. So the badges, I guess. So the display name, okay. Emotes, all right. So that's the user ID, the room ID, we don't need that. Subscriber, we don't need that. Oh, the color, right? So we need the color, we need the FF000, is it red? Color picker. Yeah, because what I see is red. So on my OBS chat. All right, so we'll try and do that. Right, so we are going to first. Oh, where's the ping thing? I saw ping somewhere. Yeah. So we need to handle the ping functionality too. Did we get a ping? Actually, yeah, we got a ping, but the problem is it doesn't have content, does it? Okay, so this is good because we can use this as a template. Okay, so we'll do, so we've done the tags, we've extracted the tags, the raw tags, of course. We need to extract the nickname. We need to extract the command, and then we need to extract the actual body of the message if there is one. Okay, only pass the rest of the components if it's a command we care about. We ignore some messages. Alright, so we'll have to look at this. And then we'll pass the tag. Okay. So I'm going to charge my keyboard, and then I'll come back in 15 minutes. All right. Right, I'm back, and I forgot to plug my keyboard. So give me a sec. Am I back? I am back. Good. Keyboard is working. Alright, so I'm gonna give it another hour or so. So what do we have now? Alright. Oh. String index out of range. Yep. Because ping. Because if string equals this. We don't have an else. If string message index equals alright, so we'll do else. We'll do this. But hang on. But the problem is now, because if we have, so the message index is at, we know we have tags, but if it's not, it's gonna come here, right? Because in here we pass the index. Does ping come with, no it doesn't. You see? Get the source group. So this is going to be for the author. And so if this doesn't pass, then the end index is going to be message. Oh. Okay, so we'll have an else for ping, right? For now. So this is ping. We'll continue. So now we need to pass the command, right? So we get the at right, user type equals whatever, and then we need to get this up until the colon. If it starts with a colon, right? So if str message of index is a colon. Or maybe we should do starts with. I think we can do that. No. No, we can do that. No, we don't have to do that. Okay, so if it's equal this, so now we have the nickname. No, pass the author. I don't know why we would want to have the host, because the host is always going to be us, right? Maybe we'll need that in the future, but we're not going to worry about that for now. And then, what do you mean? Oh. Okay, so if string message, so we need to pass the author, and then what's the other one? So that's the source component, and then we get the command component of the IRC message. IDX. End index is going to be message.length. Alright, we'll figure this out. For now, we need to. Okay. So of course, so if let's print a string message of IDX plus 1 colon again, let's do this. So we'll do n tags index, right? And then we'll do message received like that. Bottle episode. Thank you for joining the gang. Make yourself comfortable. Oh, and we've met our follower goal. You are the 50th follower on the channel. You are an absolute G. You are an absolute legend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't be shy and say hi in the chat. It's funny, you don't show up in the list of people who've joined the stream. I suppose all these are bots, so I'm gonna have to add them to the undesirables. What? Object of type none type has no length. Okay. Right, so we'll print the message. All right. Hey, Bottle. I'm good, very good. Thank you very much. How are you? Oh, let's see. So we found the tags. So we passed the author, but hope you don't mind questions during stream. I tend to get very chatty. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I do not mind questions. In fact, I like to chat too. So please. And it's funny because I'm actually working on a chat sort of client, IRC client. So I suppose your messages are going to show up. But I've done something weird. So hang on. So message received. Okay, so what's the message then? How long have you been in development? Professionally for 7 years now. But I've been coding since I was a kid. First language was Basic, believe it or not. It was, don't know if you've heard of that language. It's called Basic. Yeah, it looked like this. Oh my god, it looked like this. And then you had like you had instructions that you had to program, and it had an interpreter, and if you made a mistake you had to essentially start from scratch. It was very painful, especially at 7 years old. Right, so let's see. So we paused the author. Message received. What got you into developing at such a young age? My dad brought me. It was by complete accident. For the same reason I got into gaming. My dad brought me a computer. He thought it was a video game console. I think it's called Alice computer. And I believe it was, yeah, that was the one. Yeah, this was it. Boom, and it came with a computer. I think it was a French. Well, yeah, it was French, but it was a sort of a copycat of the Commodore 64. And so you had to plug it in to the TV, and you used that keyboard to type in sort of basic commands, right? And then you could then play the games. So yeah, that was something. And it came yeah, boom, there we go. It came in this massive red suitcase, padded and everything. Fortunately, I lost it. And you had these cassettes, right, that you could use to play the games. This is what it looked like. Boom. Brings back so much memories. Yeah, I didn't know too, but I don't know. Just my dad brought this from. He was into antiques and stuff, so he would bring me stuff like that without me asking. He brought me Sega Genesis and Sega Saturn. I had no idea what these were at the time, but I don't know. So it's funny because what language do you know and work in? So I have worked with Python, I've worked with Node or JavaScript. I've worked with Go, but not professionally. I've not worked in Go professionally, but I know Go. I've done a bit of C. Again, not professionally, but for fun. But the two main languages at the moment, yeah, my two main languages, three main languages: JavaScript, Node, and Go. Although I'm trying to get away from Node, and sort of focus on Golang and Python. I know SQL too, SQL. What else? A bit of Bash. Yeah. I am probably going to start learning C++ too, because I want to get away from sort of web development and move away from web development so I can focus on systems programming and essentially become a cloud engineer for my day job, and then continue programming but do systems programming for fun. So yeah, so you got the message, and the message is none. So what's none? Okay, else print ping, right? And then we'll return the string message because I want to see something. All right, so room state, blah, blah, blah. So let's see if I can print. All right, so that's the message. Oh, of course it's not working. So I need to print str message of idx plus 1 and well, actually let's just do that. Idx, can we do plus equals in Python? I think we can. So it's going to be idx, whoops, and end tags. Oh, so I can see the message. So why am I programming a chatbot for Twitch? Well, that's because at the minute, so you can't see it, but I've got my second screen, my MacBook screen, and so I've got the stream chat on my second screen, and I'm having to sort of look back and forth like that. I'm just breaking my neck, and the idea is to be able to have it inside a pane on my Tmux, so I could essentially have it sitting here, right, in that area, and then do the work on the other pane, and so I can essentially just stand straight and look at the screen and not have to bob my head back and forth, because right now my neck is just burning me. Also, I need a bigger mic stand. As you can see, it's a bit low, so I have to crouch like that. I'd want to be able to stand like this and then look at the screen and keep a natural position. Oops. Yeah, ergonomics. Okay, so now hopefully if I do that again, we should only see the message, the second part of the message, right? So let's see. Test. All right. Nope. What are we doing wrong here? Okay, let's see. Let's print the index first and see. So 0, right? Another test. Alright, so it's 296. Oh, but we need to find. Oh, so okay. So we need to find the. Alright, so source message is essentially going to be this, right? So it's going to be idx plus 1, like this, right? And so now we need to do source message.find, and hopefully now we can do source message idx. Let's print source message first. Let's see. I want to see what we get. Blah blah blah. thread test. So this is the found tags thing, but then no, what we want is that we don't even get past the author. Where's the message past the author? Oh, boom. Okay, so it's not plus equals 1, it's actually idx, right? So now we've actually got the message, right? Let's do all caps. This is a message. So now we've got this. So this is what we want. That's the source. And from this, we need to extract that, right? Because this is going to contain the username, and that's the host. Okay. So what are they doing? Message idx. So that's what we're doing. The end index is going to be index of blah blah blah. Okay. And the raw source component. Okay. Oh, so he passes the component. Do we have a pass component somewhere? Hang on. Raw source component. Okay. So let's see. Source. Oh yeah, pass source, right? So where is he calling it? Alright, let's see. Pass source. Oh, it's at the end. Okay, so at the end of it, we do the pass source component, blah blah blah. Alright. So, but we've extracted the source, which is good. Where are we? So this is where we are, right? So pass source, and this is pass tags. Now, because sooner or later we're going to get a ping message. So let's say, and we need to, of course, increment the index. So now index is going to be end tags +1, right? And let's actually do end idx. Let's call it end idx. Let's do that here too, just to not get confused. Good. Okay. Now we need to get the command component of a message. Looking for the parameters part of the message, but not all messages include the parameters part. That is interesting. A raw command component. This. And that's true because if we go back here, we should receive a ping message anytime now. And the ping message doesn't include anything like tags and stuff like that. So where are we here? Get the command components of the IRC message. So the end index is going to be the index of let's look at JavaScript. Index of method. Oh, first occurrence of E starting at position 5. Ooh. I don't think we have an equivalent in Python. So message index of 5. And we get the ping. So that's going to be this. So what are we trying to do here? Because if it doesn't start with an @ and if it doesn't start with this, we don't have tags and we don't have a colon, which means it's a command, right? So the end index. Oh, okay, I get it. So if it doesn't start with an @ like this, right? So if it doesn't start with an @ like this and it doesn't start with a colon like this, then it must be a command, right? And so from there, what we need to do is we need to slice. So we need to slice the string on the colon and then get the first parameter, right? And then we'll need to pass and then split the string on the space character. Okay. Oops. All right. So now, end index. Well, actually, we don't even need to do this because now we just need to split the string based on this, right? Is this message though? Yes. You appear, Fulma Goose. Hello and welcome. I've actually used your AI, what's it called? Humint color palette generator. This is brilliant stuff. I've used it to generate sort of color schemes for a project. It works wonderfully. Do you not remember this? Oh, you didn't build it. Well, I used it anyway. So thank you for the recommendation. Thank you. Thank you. Where am I? What am I doing? Okay. And so all the messages are appearing. Do you trade you 5 days of sleep for any code you want right? Listen, I'd take the deal, but I actually need the 5 days of sleep, believe it or not. I actually do. old bloke. 31. I'm an old. I'm about to retire anytime now. So this is it, right? Like we need to extract this. So we'll split this. So what should we call it? I don't know. Pass message, I guess. Pass actual message. Pass command. So the command is going to be it needs to be the string from that point to this, because that's the rest of the message. So so the commands are going to be how did we do it? Yeah, so it's going to be str message two and a half days and 2.5 days. Even that, I think even that is not enough. Like I'm actually gonna I was thinking of just taking a break and just, you know, sleep it, because what time is it now? It's 7:30, right? I need to go to sleep at maybe 9, and then from there just wake up at 9 the next day, because I've got a lot of sleep to catch on. So it's going to be from IDX, I think. IDX. How did we do this? Yeah, so from IDX up until that. Command is not accessed. Oops. Yep. Right, so that's the command. And then we can print the command. Let's see, let's have a look. Lulu? It's Lulu. They want me to authenticate. What's this? Oh, book printing API. This is interesting. What? Ooh, end tags IDX. We've missed some. Yeah. You see? End IDX. Right? Alright. Lulu. Oh, funny enough, you can. Please tell me this is the one you've made with ChatGPT. Yes, it is. Takes you on a journey. Is it a different one from the one you sent the other day on Amazon? The one that's on Amazon. Oh, you have 3. Wow, oh, you've been hard at work, man. No way they did suspend you. Did they give you a reason as to why? Now that's interesting, because they have a way of how can they know that this was generated with AI? And also, why would they want to ban you for this? I mean, you know, it's just like any other book. But it's interesting that they were able to sort of find out that this was done with AI. Hang on, what's the problem here? Expected expression. Command. Oh, but do you actually have to disclose that it's made by Midjourney though? That's the thing. Yeah, but why would you want to cover your back? That's what I'm asking. Oh, I don't see the problem, to be honest, because I mean, I wouldn't care if it was made by AI, because when you buy a coloring book, you know, you buy it for how much you have to pay with Lulu? Oh, you get a proper ISBN too. That's interesting. That's dope though. Honestly, if I were you, I would just completely avoid mentioning Midjourney, because I mean, it's not like you're not cheating anyone. If the product is good, who cares if it's made by AI, right? And plus, you had to actually prompt the you actually had to do the prompt. So in fact, it's sort of oh, okay. So does it have like a watermark or something? ChatGPT gives me a list of mythical creatures, which I then put into Midjourney to create the images and create book sleeves. And yeah. But you had to write the prompt, right? So that prompt is original to you. I mean, that's your prompt, right? So ultimately, because I wouldn't have written, no two people would have been able to write the exact same prompt. That's what I'm saying. So really, it's an original creation when you think about it. String message. Okay, so if it starts with an @ yeah, hashtags. If it starts with this, we've got the source else we need to split the string, right? Message index of this and IDX. But the trouble is we need to do, should we do an else here? I don't know, because these are the so that's the, this is the actual thing. And what I want to do is I want to extract priv message like this. Okay. Alright, so end index is going to be str message dot find this. Does it accept oh, hang on, let's do string.find Python. Oh, okay, so we actually have a first index. So where in the text is the first occurrence of the letter E, when you only search between position 5 and 10. So that's the first, which means we can now do, whoops, that, right? So that's the end index. Cool. And then if -1 equals end index, okay. So now let's print end index. Oh, also, I think it returns an int. Yeah, it returns an int. And so if it doesn't find anything, it returns -1. So we can actually copy this, right? Of course, this is JavaScript, so we need to. Right, let's do if end index is equal to -1, right? Oops. Then end index is going to be len of what's the message? Len of, oops, len of us str message. Oops, like that. All right. And so the command now should be blah 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 end index. And now we should have idx, end idx, and let's print the command and see. Let's actually do found command. Let's prepend that. Found command. Alright, left string. What? Oh, str message. Cool. Okay, let's run a test really quickly. Let's do hello. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. So let's print end index. So what's the end index? It's 296. Oh, whoops. I think I got it wrong. I think this is what I needed to do. Another test. Nope. Because we're not. Okay. Oh, okay, so it has to be. Does it need to be done as an else here? Is that an else block? Because right now we're getting this. So we found this, we passed author, but for whatever reason should it be IDX plus 1? Let me print IDX. I want to know. Testing IDX. So IDX is 41. Alright. So we need to find the substring, start, and end. Which means, what's this? What's the end? The end is going to be either end or none. Okay, let's do str. Let's do len str message. Let's try and find out if that works. blah. Nope. So the end index should be, it shouldn't be this. It should be whatever this is. How are they doing it? Oh. So we sliced the message. Okay, message that slice that. Message that slice. But we never changed the message. No, we never changed the message. Get the component. So this is what's failing. Let end message index of this. What are we doing wrong here? Okay. In fact, let me give it this. Oops. Let me add a to-do. Right. So that's the tags content. We don't care about that. Right. Yeah. So that's the tags content. And then, okay, so the nickname then, I guess, source content is going to be nickname raw. Let's just do raw nickname. Let's call this raw tags too. Raw tags. Raw nickname is going to be so it's going to be str message index end index, right? Okay. But we need to, okay, so we need to change the message. Source message is going to be str message of index, like that. And so hopefully now we should receive something. Blah, blah. Nope. Oh, it's source message. Ugh. Alright. So now I need to restart. And then do blah blah blah. Finally. Okay. So this is what we have. Okay. Let's go back just to see. Okay. Now we just need to find out if it's going to work for ping. Because then what we're going to need to do is take this, right, and then split the string on the colon. And so this is going to be the content of the message, and that is going to be the actual command, right? I want to know if it's going to crash if we send a ping message. Because if when we pass a regular message, we get this. I don't know how long it takes to for them to ping. And then we'll probably do some refactoring and then create a proper class with methods. And then we'll need to, of course, pass the tags. So let me actually add that to the to-do list. So connect to RC, we've done that, we've done this, we've done that, we've done that. So what we need to do is, so that was day 1. Day 2 is going to be pass messages. So we're going to need to extract tags, extract commands. What else did they do? And of course extract the body. Extract the body and extract the nickname, right? Maybe we want to add a timestamp too, right? So we'll do this. Yeah, no, I just did a done section, and it's gonna be to do, and then refactor the code. User class. Yeah, so this is what we need to do. Okay, and then we'll split this. Well, actually, we need to extract the message too. Alright, so it works. No, hang on, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Because now all we have it doesn't work. Do we need this? I don't know why we need this. Do we need this? Let's see. Let's try that one more time. I want to see if it breaks. Hello. Okay, so the command is this. What are we printing here? In fact, let's not pollute the output, so we'll run the bot again. Okay. So the command is user state. Now, but there's a problem with the pass command, the command thing. There's definitely a problem with that, because that's not what we want. What we want. Hang on. So it works for private messages, but it doesn't work for the rest. I'm gonna have to wait for the ping for the ping message to arrive. Yeah, no, it's not working at the minute. So there has to be an if else somewhere that we missed. If blah. Should we do an else if? Should we do if else if? Let's see. I think it's if else if, right? Elif. Hang on, let me do elif else. Like that. Oh. Oh, I think it was a, okay. Let's go. It wasn't string message, it was source message. Right. And so this is now str message. Oops, str message and index. Right. Yeah, let's actually try that. Okay, 001. Let's see if that works. Nope, it doesn't. It does not. So it's got to be source message then. Yeah. Nope. Let's try that. Nope. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to comment this out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to print raw tags like so. And the raw tags. So I'm going to do F. Raw tags. And we'll do the same here. Raw nickname. Okay. So we'll run the bot again. What? Why do I get it twice? Okay. Oh, it's nickname. Okay. That's the nickname. Okay, great. Blah, blah. So we're not getting the nickname either. That is interesting. Hang on. So the index starts at +1. Okay. Source message. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do that. We'll test and see. Oh my god, will you just cooperate? We are not getting the raw nickname. This is weird. So we'll put the index and the end index to see. End IDX. I want to see something. All right. How is it? Oh. Hang on. Did I miss something here? Yes, I did, because it needs to start at the index. Okay. So now this can't possibly be... Boom, it works. Alright. So that's the raw nickname, which is good. Which means now we can do this. Right? We can do print IDX, end IDX like that. That's going to be, oops, that's going to be str message find, right? Copy again. We'll run it. Where am I? Oops. Forgot to. So again, we'll do that again. So that's going to be str message, and we'll print f end IDX is end IDX. Okay. So quit. Alright, so end index is 28 for whatever reason. Alright, so now the command should be they should return the correct command now, hopefully. So we'll run that again. And we will call it a day. Nope. Let's see. No. Okay. So we get the raw nickname correctly, but we don't get the IDX. And both times we set it to, okay, so we update the index +1. Oh. So it's index this. And then let's try it. Hang on, let's try it. Let's see. Ooh, looks like it's working. This is a test message. Yes. Good. Okay. Okay. So this is good, right? Now what we need to do is we need to essentially we need to wait for the ping command to appear to check if it's actually correct. And also I wonder why they're doing this, but not all messages include the parameters part. Alright, so I guess if there is no if end IDX equals -1. Oh, I think it's going to be -1 anyway. Yeah, we don't have to do anything, because then this would be -1, so it's always going to point to the last part of the string, so that's good. What happened to the music? Oh. Catch up on football real quick. Okay. Ooh, hello. Well, well, well. Would you look at that? This is interesting. This is very interesting. What happened in the FA Cup? Sheffield, Brighton, Man United. Okay. And then Barcelona. Arsenal won. Ooh, Bayern Munich lost. What an interesting, eventful weekend. Alright, come on, ping. Just don't come late. I'm gonna finish this, and then we'll pick up tomorrow. I just want to know if it actually extracts the ping message, because I need to handle that. Refactor the code, and then we need to handle ping message, because we need to send pong to the server if we get a ping message, right? think it's ping. Nope. Joining a chat room. If the bot successfully joins the channel, the server replies with join 353-366. The text portion of the 353 message lists the users in the channel at the time you joined. The following example shows a reply message. Okay. If you try next steps, nope, that's not what we want. I think it's ping, right? Pong. Pass Nick. Send and receive messages. Approve message. Joining a chat room. Keep alive messages. Where are we? These are the tags, but we don't care about the tags. Again, these are the commands. We don't care about that. These are the emotes. Oh, keep alive messages, that's the one. Okay. The Twitch IRC server sends messages to ensure that your bot's still alive and able to respond to that. Ping this after receiving. Okay, so we need to pass that. Okay, so when we receive this, we need to do irc.send that. If the bot fails to reply with a pong, the server terminates the connection. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so we've got ping. So that's the command. But then the problem is we need to pass what did they do here? Yeah, so you pass the index. Let's see. Oh no. Yeah, that's what we want. We don't want it to end at this, right? Okay. So now we can split the string. But what's the end index though? Let me actually print the end index because this is interesting. I want to see something. $356. 338, 356. It's 18 characters, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's both, yeah. And because it starts at 0, so it's on 18, so I think it takes that into account. So it takes the space. What am I missing here? But then the second part of the message, I guess the parameters, how do we... Oh, so okay, so we were right to do this. Okay. Okay, so this is the command, and then if end index is not equal to len this, right? Then we have parameters, and so we can do index idx plus equals 1. So we increment the index, and then the message, actually the body, is going to be str message of index, like that, right? And then we'll print the body too. Message body like that. Nope. Oh, no, it's end index. What am I doing? So it's, of course, it's end idx plus 1, like this. Again, we'll restart. Yep. And so now, check this out. Boom. Great. Great. Okay, so now we can pass the commands. So let's go here. Extract the commands, extract the body, extract the nickname. So we can do all this. But before we actually do anything, we need to look at how they pass the command, because let's do pass command. yeah, so you split the thing base. Okay, so then you split it, and then you look at join this blah blah blah. So all of these contain a message. If it's ping, what the command is this. If it's cap, blah, global user state, room state, reconnect, full 21, blah, 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 blah. Unexpected command, boom. Okay, this is going to be easy enough. But interestingly enough, we didn't get the user state command. Is it 001? Yeah, because as you can see, 001 has it's got the channel. Okay. All right. So I suppose we can do that. I just want to see if the ping thing works. Only pass the rest of the components if it's a command we care about. Okay. If null equals, is null if it's a message we don't care about. Okay, else RC message contains tags. Yeah, then we pass the source, then we pass the parameters, and then we return a pass message. Okay. Pass the source, and then we pass the parameter. All right. But let's see. Didn't get a ping yet. We'll print something here. I think we'll essentially port this into Python because I think it's good enough. What am I missing here? So what we want to do is we want to return a message, an instance of message, right? Or an instance of chat message. And then we want to find a way to respond to the ping message by getting the pong message. And then once we're done, once we have the chat message, we'll essentially print the message in color. And then we'll forget about the rest. Like we don't need to actually see. Oh, okay. So it works with ping. Brilliant stuff. Cool. So yeah, see, like 001, blah blah blah. We don't need this. We don't need that. So yeah. Cool. I wonder, what am I printing here? Because we're printing the message body. Oh, this is the entire message body. Okay. Yeah. So then we'll only print the priv message and the ping message. We don't care about the cap. We don't care about this. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So before we do this, let's do that, and then only print priv message. Mostly the color, because that's all we need really. Extract the command, extract the body, extract the nickname, the timestamp. We will add a timestamp, then we'll handle the ping message, we'll use a class, and then we'll try and only print the priv message. Okay, cool. So let me just I think we'll add the log file, whatever. Git commit. So made a start on the message parser. Git push origin master. And boom. We're done for today. I'm gonna go watch some football, chill out, and then I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. So cheers guys, I'll see you.